Have you ever felt caught between two worlds? The world of logic, data, and science, and the world of faith, purpose, and spirituality. For centuries, we've been told they are at war. Science asks how. Religion answers why. It's been presented as an unbridgeable gap, a battle between the microscope and the prayer mat. But what if that's not the whole story? What happens when both start pointing towards the same, undeniable truth? Stick with me, because today we're going on a journey that might just change the way you see everything. We're diving deep into the idea that science isn't the enemy of faith. In fact, the further science ventures into the unknown, the more its discoveries seem to echo words written down over a millennium ago. We'll explore how modern cosmology, biology, and geology are uncovering realities described in ancient scriptures, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, science isn't disproving God. Maybe it's just catching up. Let's start with the biggest picture imaginable: the universe itself. In the 20th century, astronomers like Edwin Hubble made a groundbreaking discovery. By observing distant galaxies, he noticed they were all moving away from us. The further away they were, the faster they were receding. This led to the revolutionary concept of an expanding universe. The very fabric of space is stretching, carrying galaxies along with it. This was a seismic shift in our understanding, a cornerstone of modern cosmology. But what if I told you this concept isn't as modern as we think? Let's turn the pages back over 1400 years to the Quran. In Surah Ad-Dariyat, it says, "And the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed, we are its expander." The Arabic word used, misi, literally translates to expanders, or making it spacious. At a time when the prevailing view was of a static, unchanging cosmos, this statement is nothing short of extraordinary. How could a book from the 7th century describe a fundamental principle of the universe that our most powerful telescopes would only confirm centuries later? It's a question that makes you pause and think. Is it a coincidence, or a sign of a deeper source of knowledge? Now, let's zoom in from the vastness of space to the very essence of life here on Earth. Ask any biologist what the single most crucial ingredient for life as we know it is, and they'll give you a one-word answer: water. Every living cell, from the smallest bacterium to the cells in your own body, is primarily composed of water. It's the universal solvent, the medium where the chemical reactions of life take place. Scientists searching for extraterrestrial life on Mars or distant exoplanets follow a simple mantra: follow the water. Where there is water, there is the potential for life. This is a fundamental truth of modern biology. Let's travel back in time again. The Quran states, in Surah Al-Anbiya, "And we made from water every living thing." Then, will they not believe? This isn't a vague or poetic metaphor. It's a clear, direct, and scientifically accurate statement. In the arid deserts of Arabia, where life was sparse and water was the most precious commodity, this verse declared a universal biological principle. It didn't just say water was important for life in the desert. It said, every living thing was made from water. This knowledge, which we now confirm by peering into cells with powerful microscopes, was articulated with stunning clarity over a millennium ago. Again, we're faced with that profound question: how? The story of our origins doesn't stop there. Let's talk about how we, as human beings, come into existence. Modern embryology has given us an incredible window into the womb. We now know that the human embryo develops in distinct stages. It starts as a single cell, then becomes a clinging, leech-like structure and a lacquer that implants in the uterine wall. It then develops into a tube-like lump, a mudja, before bones form and are subsequently clothed with flesh. This detailed, sequential process is a marvel of biological engineering, charted by scientists over the last couple of centuries. Now, listen to this description from the Quran in Surah Al-Mu'minun. Then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot, and we made the clot into a lump of flesh, and we made from that lump bones, and we covered the bones with flesh. The parallels are breathtaking. The Arabic terms used alaka for a clinging clot or leech, and mudja for a chewed substance are uncannily descriptive of the embryo's actual appearance and behavior at those specific stages. This isn't just a general statement about creation. It's a step-by-step description of embryological development that aligns precisely with modern scientific observation. This detailed knowledge was simply not available in the 7th century. Dissection was not practiced in that culture, and there were certainly no microscopes. So, where did this information come from? Let's look at another field, geology, and the very ground beneath our feet. We know that mountains are not just random piles of rock. They play a crucial role in stabilizing the Earth's crust. Through the theory of plate tectonics, we've learned that mountains have deep roots, like pegs or stakes, that anchor the tectonic plates and prevent the planet from shaking too violently. Geologists refer to this as isostasy, where the visible mountain is balanced by a much larger structure extending deep into the mantle. What does the Quran say about this? In Surah An-Naba it asks, "Have we not made the earth a resting place, and the mountains as pegs?" The Arabic word altered means pegs or stakes, the kind you would use to anchor a tent. This is a perfect analogy for the geological function of mountains. They are described not just as surface features, but as stabilizers, anchoring the land. Furthermore, in another verse, it mentions that God placed mountains on the earth, lest it should shake with you. This directly points to their role in providing stability. Once again, a profound scientific concept, understood only in the last century, is described with remarkable accuracy. Think about the sky above us. We see it as a beautiful blue expanse, but we now know it's a multi-layered atmosphere that protects us. It filters harmful radiation from the sun, like ultraviolet rays, and acts as a protective ceiling, shielding us from the cold, harsh vacuum of space and from being constantly bombarded by meteorites. This protective canopy is essential for life on Earth. The Quran refers to the sky in a similar way. In Surah Al-Anbiya, it says, "And we made the sky a protected ceiling, but they, from its signs, are turning away." The term Sakfan Mafyu, and a protected ceiling or a guarded roof is a stunningly accurate description of the atmosphere's function. It's not just a void. It's a shield, a barrier designed with a purpose. This understanding of the atmosphere as a protective structure is a relatively modern scientific concept. So, what are we to make of all this? Is it a series of incredible coincidences, or are we seeing a pattern? The expansion of the universe, the aquatic origin of all life, the stages of human embryology, the stabilizing function of mountains, the protective nature of our atmosphere. These are not trivial details. They are foundational concepts of modern science, discovered through painstaking research, observation, and technological advancement. Yet, they are all described with what can only be called startling precision in a book revealed over 1400 years ago. This isn't about setting up a competition between science and religion. It's about recognizing them as two different languages telling the same story. Science is the meticulous process of observation and experimentation. It tells us how the universe works. It uncovers the mechanisms, the laws, and the processes of creation. It's like taking apart a masterfully crafted watch, piece by piece, to understand how each gear and spring works in perfect harmony. Faith, on the other hand, addresses the question of why asterisk. It looks at the watch and asks about the watchmaker. It seeks the purpose, the meaning, and the intelligence behind the magnificent design. It's the awe you feel when you look at the stars, the wonder at the complexity of a single cell, the innate sense that all this intricate order can't possibly be a cosmic accident. The more we explore the universe through the lens of science, the more it seems to point towards an incredible level of fine-tuning and design. It's not a chaotic, random collection of matter. It's a cosmos governed by precise laws, with constants tuned to perfection to allow for the existence of stars, planets, and life itself. It's not chaos, it is a revelation, unfolding before our very eyes. Ultimately, science explains the creation, but faith explains the Creator. When you put them together, you don't get conflict. You get a more complete, more profound, and more awe-inspiring picture of the truth. You get a universe that is not only mathematically elegant, but also deeply meaningful. You get a human story that is not just a biological accident, but a journey with purpose. So, the next time you look up at the night sky or marvel at the complexity of nature, remember this. The search for knowledge and the search for God might not be separate paths. They could very well be two trails that lead to the summit of the same mountain, offering a breathtaking view of the same ultimate reality. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration today. If this gave you something to think about, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that challenges the way we see the world. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep asking questions and never stop seeking the truth.